Real attraction isn't merely about what you display. It's about what you choose to hold back. It's about the power you don't freely give away. It's about how you carry yourself, calm, grounded, and focused, without seeking anyone's attention. Machiavelli grasped this concept better than most ever will. Power and presence aren't simply handed to you. They are claimed quietly, purposefully, and without the need for permission. If you're weary of chasing, performing, and hoping to be chosen, and you're ready to become the man who naturally commands respect, attention, and desire, then you need to pay close attention to what's coming next. This isn't about gimmicks or pretending to be confident. It's about cultivating a presence so compelling that attraction becomes a natural byproduct, not something you pursue. Stick around until the end, as I will share a key insight that most men never discover. Once you implement it, your approach to life will transform forever. Machiavelli understood this principle deeply. He recognized that power and presence are not given. They are taken with intention and without asking for approval. If you want to stop being the guy who constantly chases or hopes to be chosen, if you want to stop feeling like you're performing for someone else's attention, you need to grasp the principles we are about to explore. This isn't about tricks or feigned confidence. It's about developing a presence so strong and undeniable that attraction becomes an effortless side effect of who you are. Stay with me until the end of this discussion, as I will reveal a simple shift that most men will never comprehend. Once you apply it, it will change how you navigate life, how you present yourself, and how the world responds to you permanently. Principle 1. Attraction is about unpredictability, not perfection. Many men mistakenly believe they must be flawless to be attractive, saying the right things, looking a certain way, always agreeing, and being polished. This is a misconception. Machiavelli taught that predictability makes you easy to control and forgettable. If she knows exactly how you'll respond, what you'll say, and how you'll feel, the mystery fades, curiosity diminishes, and respect weakens. Genuine attraction arises when you remain slightly out of reach, not cold or distant, but just unavailable enough that she is left wondering, what is he thinking? What are his plans? In real life, avoid oversharing about yourself too soon. Don't always respond immediately to texts. Don't be the guy who is perpetually available. Be strategically unpredictable. A man who operates just outside of reach compels others to lean in. Principle 2. Maintain your emotional center regardless of circumstances. Machiavelli understood something that most people overlook. The man who masters his emotions controls the game. Many live at the mercy of their feelings, fluctuating from happiness to reactivity, easily thrown off by unexpected events. However, the truly attractive men are those who remain calm when others panic, grounded amidst chaos, and unyielding when faced with challenges or tests. Women are not drawn to perfection. They are attracted to presence, the solid, calm demeanor that communicates, "I know who I am, no matter what is happening around me." In everyday situations, when she pulls away, you don't panic, you remain steady. When she teases or challenges you, you don't argue or become defensive, you smile and stay rooted. When she exhibits coldness or emotional instability, you don't mirror her reactions. You remain calm and selective in your responses. You don't react to every emotional shift. You respond only when necessary and remain silent when it's not. That is true power, rare and magnetic. Principle 3. Make your life larger than her attention. This is where many men falter. They place women at the center of their universe, dropping everything the moment she texts, pouring all their emotional energy, time, and focus into someone they barely know. If Machiavelli were observing, he would say, "The man who relies on anything external for his identity has already lost." Attraction does not occur when you chase her attention. It happens when she feels she is stepping into a life that is already rich, fulfilling, and progressing, not when you are desperately trying to be included in hers. In practical terms, this means you should build your own world first. Cultivate your projects, goals, physical strength, and financial stability. Develop friendships that don't revolve around seeking approval. Establish daily habits that persist even when someone shows you a little attention. A man who is already fulfilled does not come across as needy. He appears valuable. Remember this simple truth: neediness repels, while fulfillment attracts. Principle 4. Rarity creates value. Be rare. Consider gold, diamonds, and the rarest pieces of art. They are not ubiquitous, they are not easily obtained, and that is precisely what makes them valuable. Machiavelli understood this clearly. Value is not created by abundance. It is established through scarcity. A man who is overly available, too common, or too eager to please diminishes his value without realizing it. In real life, this means you don't always respond immediately. You're not present at every gathering or every phone call. You don't rush to expend all your energy on someone who is only giving you half of theirs. Create distance, not to be cold, but to enhance your value. Allow people to earn access to you. Let women earn your focus, attention, and time. The moment she perceives that everyone else can have you, she stops viewing you as something rare. When you lose that sense of rarity, you diminish the magnetism you've cultivated. Therefore, be selective, not bitter or arrogant, but intentional about who gets close. A rare man does not need to convince anyone of his worth. He is felt. Principle 5. Silence, not arguments, demonstrates true power. Machiavelli understood something that most men never grasp. Arguing for respect is a sign of weakness. True power does not come from convincing others with words. It comes from commanding respect through your presence. You don't argue your value. You embody it. When someone misunderstands you, you don't fight to explain yourself. When someone disrespects you, you don't explode or fall into emotional traps. You correct once, calmly and clearly, and afterward you let your silence convey everything. Arguing beyond that point does not earn you respect. It diminishes your power. In practical terms, if she questions your intentions, you don't defend yourself endlessly. You smile, remain calm, and move on. If someone doubts your worth, you don't engage in debates. You let your actions speak over time. If she emotionally tests you, trying to provoke a reaction, you stay grounded, detached, and unshakable. Real attraction does not grow through explanations, debates, or arguments. It flourishes through energy and the silent magnetic presence of someone who does not feel the need to prove himself. The less you seek approval, the more powerful you become. That feeling, calm, centered, and immovable, is precisely what makes women pursue you without fully understanding why. Now let's make this practical, because it's one thing to understand the principles, and another to see how they manifest in everyday life. Here's how adopting a Machiavellian approach can alter how people, especially women, perceive you at social events. Instead of striving to be the loudest person in the room, cracking jokes every few seconds to gain attention, you adopt a different approach. You stand with a calm posture, speak only when necessary, and laugh genuinely, not to fit in. You're not chasing the spotlight, and strangely enough, people begin to notice you more. Women glance your way, wondering, why isn't he trying so hard? What's his story? At work or school, when your boss or teacher presents a challenge, perhaps a deadline, criticism, or unexpected pressure. Rather than becoming defensive like everyone else, you remain calm. You nod, absorb the information, and move forward without drama or rush to explain yourself. Those around you sense this stability, and stability in a chaotic world is magnetic. On social media, instead of sharing every random thought, frustration, or selfie in search of validation, you become selective. You post valuable, strong, and interesting glimpses of your life, and that's it. No oversharing or desperate need for likes. You become someone whose online presence feels rare, intentional, and authentic. The less noise you make, the more curiosity you generate. In dating or texting, when she sends you a lackluster message, you don't double text or panic. You don't send a lengthy explanation of your feelings or attempt to fix things. Instead, you slow down and redirect your focus back to your life. Sometimes, just that silence. The absence of chasing evokes more emotions in her than any words could. She starts to wonder what you're up to, checks your story, and reconsiders her tone. In friendships, when someone tries to guilt-trip you into doing something you don't want to do, instead of arguing or defending yourself endlessly, you simply say, "I'm not available for that right now." What do all these examples have in common? You're not fighting for attention, seeking validation, or performing as if you have something to prove. Instead, you're moving with calm power, creating space around you, and allowing your presence, rather than your words, efforts, or explanations, to do the work. By doing so, you make attraction, respect, and curiosity gravitate toward you naturally. Here's the real secret that most people fail to grasp. When you stop giving everything away so easily, your energy, time, and emotions, people don't lose interest. They become more intrigued. They sense that something about you is different, solid, and rare, and that's what draws them in. Not what you say, but what you withhold. Not how much you try, but how firmly you stand your ground. In conclusion, cultivate gravity, not noise. Stop asking yourself, how do I make her like me? Because that question positions you in a place of chasing, adjusting, and performing. Instead, start asking, how do I move, think, and act in a way that makes it almost natural for her to be drawn to me without forcing anything? Real attraction does not stem from chasing harder, molding yourself to fit her expectations, performing a perfect version of yourself, or explaining why you're a good guy. Attraction arises from navigating life with calm power, a calmness that conveys, I know who I am. I know where I'm headed. I don't need to convince anyone to join me. When you begin to live with that kind of internal certainty, you stop trying to impress every person you encounter. You cease reacting emotionally to every minor shift in mood around you. You no longer allow someone else's opinion to define your worth. You naturally become like gravity, setting the pace, tone, and energy, not through force, but simply by being solid, focused, and clear. Women immediately sense that difference. They feel it without you needing to announce it. True presence cannot be faked. It is something you cultivate from within. So, Stop playing roles you believe will make you more likable. Stop trying to shape yourself into what you think she desires. Focus on becoming the man you admire, the one who remains calm under pressure, who doesn't crumble when challenged, and who doesn't require attention to recognize his worth. Be the one who is centered, rare, and who doesn't plead for respect, because his way of moving naturally commands it. Let's foster minds that don't seek validation and a presence that doesn't chase approval, for it was never about the words to begin with. It was about who you are when the noise fades, what you stand for when no one is watching, and the silent confidence that resonates louder than any speech ever could. If this message resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Leave a comment, even just a few words. It will help you remember and may assist someone else as well. Hit the like button if you found this content valuable, and share it with someone who, in your view, needs it right now. Trust your instincts. We are all striving for clarity and solidity within ourselves. Let's build minds that don't break.